Slept off.
It's the weather.
It is. It is. Could you please tell us about Alicia Kerwin? I think that was her name. You said that she was set to go on the last tour with him. How did they meet? Thank you for answering the question.
They,
I loved Alicia.
she was really, really nice. Easy to talk to.
I'm the one that introduced her. I didn't.
Well, George
brought her up.
But
Elvis sent me down to,
Check her out.
Yeah, kind of. And then he said, just in a few minutes, just, bring her up. So I did. She was real sweet, real sweet.
that's one of the times that Ginger wasn't there, and
Mm-hmm.
she would love to deny it, but it's been brought out before, especially when they done a deposition on all the people that worked for Elvis when they Dr. Nick's medical case come up before the medical board and all that. So, but anyway, he met her, and then we took off to.
We went to Las Vegas.
We went to Vegas first, and then we wound up going back to Palm Springs, and then back to Memphis. While he was in Palm Springs, he bought her a Cadillac.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember right, it was gray, and
I couldn't remember what color it was.
Had to send somebody out there and get it.
Didn't
and bring
Mike
it back.
and Earl? Mike and
I
Earl,
think
I think.
Mike and Earl
Mike
went,
and
yeah, 'cause
Mike McGregor and Earl Pritchett. I think they went out and got her car and brought it back.
Yeah.
She was a bank teller in Memphis,
Yeah.
and then she wound up moving to Las Vegas after we
Yeah.
had gone out there, and was I think she was a blackjack dealer, wasn't she?
I
in
think
one of the
so.
casinos. I'm not
Yeah.
sure. I'm not positive, but we stayed in contact with her for a little while, before she went out there. She
But really a nice
Real
girl,
nice, real
she
nice.
just, easy to talk to, and funny, She had a good, good sense of humor, and I think that's what Elvis liked.
Elvis called her Little Clown Face.
Yeah, clown
Remember?
face,
Little
yeah.
Clown Face. Because I know she wrote me a note one time and sent it and signed it that way. Alicia Little Clown Face. Doesn't mean she was. She was pretty. She was a pretty girl, but he just thought she was funny, and she was in awe. Like she said, she didn't really want to be in a love affair with him. She just wanted to be basically
Elvis,
good friends.
Elvis, I'll be the first to say he was crazy about Ginger. But,
yeah, he was.
And I'm pretty sure he told her he was going to marry her. But,
in the beginning.
I mean, in the beginning. Yeah, we went to Hawaii, and there's a picture where he rolls over on top of Rosemary. Now, if I was engaged, like with Joe, and I had done something like that, my eyes would have been swollen for several weeks.
Well, you may not be here to even tell.
Yeah.
He probably wouldn't.
But that's. I don't care who you are. That was her sister, and yet he's engaged to her. And
yeah, but she couldn't hold the light to Ginger, not Rosemary.
No, I didn't say that. I said I wouldn't. Certainly wouldn't allow it. I would have to say something.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, apparently we're not the only ones that he told. He was not going to, because I've just recently seen where Joe put out a statement that Elvis told him it was like he was not going to marry, and also Charlie said that Elvis said, that old song "One Side Love Affair." He said that's what I think I'm in, and I'm fixing to get out of it.
Right.
Not going to ever go down that road.
Right.
So, I mean, we didn't mean any harm about saying that. And like Billy said, I'm sure he said that, but I'm sure he told Linda that. I know he told Anita that, and you know, and he did marry Priscilla, but I don't think he would have really, you know, if he he didn't want to get married at all, or at least he said he didn't. So
Right.
you know, just dun 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 dun.
Was Billy able to visit Elvis when he went to Germany?
Who?
No.
Papa, did he go to Germany?
He was too young.
I would have if I, you know,
If you could.
because it was during the summer, you know, that it rolled around. He called me one time from over there, and we talked. And outside that, you know, he wrote
Wrote you letters.
a couple. You know, no, he never did write me a letter, but he did. You know, a couple people. I know he did. A girl named Frances Forbes.
Yeah.
You know, he was. She was a really super fan. You know, and
That's where I
and
saw it. I
he
guess a copy of that.
mentioned you know, say hello to me and all.
He said, yeah, you and Bobby and Patsy.
Patsy. Mm-hmm.
I guess I read a copy or saw a copy of her letter.
Yeah.
And also to Alan. He wrote one to Alan.
Alan, yeah.
And is that when you sent the picture to him of you playing football? You know, you.
No, I
In your
never did.
football
I never
uniform?
did send anything to him.
It said
that
well,
I remember.
on the back of it had to Elvis, and it said, "This is my whatever year," and I've still got a picture.
Yeah. I don't remember. I may have had intentions of it, but I never did.
Never did do it.
All right. Did Elvis come by your trailer and hang out? And was there ever a time that you cooked dinner and he came over and ate dinner in your trailer?
He came by our trailer a lot, and
Came in a lot.
came in a lot. But a lot of times Elvis didn't eat at anybody's house hardly. He always had his dinner at Graceland or up in his room. Now he'd come out a lot, and I can just see him now with that flashlight and sit on the couch and talk
like
and you know, comment on things, and a lot of times he did. I know after he came out there, and I didn't know what in the world, but he came out to our trailer after they had gone up for a spin around town, Memphis in the plane, when Delta had gotten very intoxicated and you know, said all that stuff to those people, and he came out to our trailer, and he was just fit to be tied.
Yeah.
And
he was,
Billy talked him down.
he
He was
was,
going to throw her out.
Yeah, he was going to throw her out and all that. And boy, him and Linda come out there.
Yeah.
And he was fit to be
He
tied.
was so mad.
And, you know,
He said, has she ever said anything like that? You know, like she said on the plane. And I said, well, actually, Billy said, no, she never has. But Delta was so nice unless she was drinking. And then she got, you know, but she loved Elvis. You know, she just had a bad moment.
but I finally, you know, calmed him down, talked to him, and
Good.
we, Linda, you know, and him, he stayed out there probably, what?
A couple hours, 3 hours, something like
I
that.
wouldn't say quite that long, but he was out there quite a while. You're about right, about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, you know, and finally, you know, got and, you know, she's old, and, you know, and she was drinking, and she probably, you know.
She regretted it, but
Yeah,
you know.
I said, you know, but throwing her out, I said, yeah, you don't really want to do that, do you? I said, I know you can think of another way of, you know, handling it. You always do. And I said, but, you know, you don't, I don't think you want to throw her out.
Right.
Do you? And he said, yeah, hell yeah, I want to throw her out. And then I said, you sure you want to do something like that? And he finally said, no, I don't. He said, but I got a plan. And I thought, okay, he's getting
I
ready
have
to.
devised a plan.
Yeah, he's getting ready to. So he left, and after, we talked a while, about, finally got him in a halfway, calm mood between me and Linda and Joe. We finally, settled him down some, and he went out there, and what Linda said, and he told me later, about it, but he went into Grandma's room and give her a pretty good tongue lashing, and about embarrassing the way she did, and he said, now, you got one choice. Not two, not three, you got one choice. That's to call everybody on the plane that was up there, call them and apologize to them. And so, he got his...
Did she?
Yeah. Yeah, you bet
Yeah, she did. I didn't really try to comment. I was always on his side about getting them, getting even with people that...
No, but that one, he would
Like
he
the old
would have
woman
done
in
it,
the
but
movie.
he would have been sorry of it later. And
Yeah,
I
he
knew
would. That, she was always good to him
Yeah.
when he was little, and
that.
her and her husband.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think on this one we'll wrap it up. We've got
Oh,
more
wrap it up.
questions coming.
Got what?
So, more questions coming.
Oh, you know what?
good,
We're going to
good.
put it in a box and wrap
Yep,
it.
and wrap it. You can send it out.
Okay, and with that, folks, what do we always say?
Elvis fans matter.
Just in time,
in
boy.
time.
What? Can you see that phone, Daniel?
Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching.